Hey guys, Alex HD here, and today I'm here with another video. In this video, I'm going to be comparing the Merciless exotic fusion rifle to the Telesto exotic fusion rifle. Well, they are both exotic fusion rifles, so yeah, that's why I did this video. And plus, well, I need to get a video out every week because I decided that my upload schedule is going to be once a week. Because, well, my channel has been very inconsistent. Like, I remember when I started, I post daily because, well, it was very easy to do. However, now I did just get bored of it, so that's why I didn't really post much. Like after like a few after like a week or two. So yeah, that's why I just stopped posting. And then I went back, and then it just stopped for months. And then I came back months after, and yeah, it's been kind of hectic. So that's why I'm going to be posting once a week. However, these videos are a bit hard to make, and I'm out of breath because oh god, I do get quite out of breath because I'm not actually breathing while I'm talking this much. So yeah, okay, so I gotta just give me a couple seconds. Anyway, let's get into the video, and first I'm gonna be talking about the Merciless. The Merciless. I'm gonna first be talking about the Merciless in its stats and perks, and I'll also be talking about the Telesto after. Anyway, let's get to the perks. The Merciless has chambered compensator, extended mag, fitted stock. Its intrinsic perk is conserve momentum, and its trait perk is I don't know how to say that word. Impetus. I don't know. And for the Telesto, its perks are projectile fuse and polymer grip. Its intrinsic perk is unplanned reprieve, and its trait perk is Harbinger Pulse. So yeah, those are the perks, and well, I'm not gonna explain each and every perk, mainly because, well, in the background footage, as I pull up the stats and like for the weapons. So if you want to like look at what they actually like, what the perks do, then just look at the video. Anyway, let's get onto the stats. First, starting off with the Merciless, it has 75 impact, 45 range, 57 stability, 38 handling, 31 reload speed. It has a charge time of 900, a magazine of 8, which is, well, pretty good. For the Telesto, it has 85 impact, 42 range, 81 stability, 66 handling, 82 reload speed, a charge time of 780, and a magazine size of 4. Now, the Telesto is worse in magazine size and basically range. However, it's worse in range. The Telesto is worse at, has worse magazine and has worse range. It has, well, I'm having to scroll between these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only two things that's worse at. Wait, yeah. Let me look. There you go. Yeah, it's worse at range. However, that's because that's, well, how much spread it has. And when we actually get into like how these weapons function, it is a bit like the range doesn't really tell you much of how the weapon really works. Anyway, enough of all this small stats talk. Let's actually get into how these weapons performed in game. So starting off with the Merciless. The Merciless is basically, I really liked it. Like, yeah, the range is, well, it's pretty average. Like, the range of I just want to, before I actually talk about the fusion rifles more, the fact is I do not like using fusion rifles, and I do not use them at all. The reason why I just don't use fusion rifles is because of how inconsistent they are. And some people are gonna tell me, like, in the comments or somewhere, like, they're gonna tell me, like, oh, you're wrong, fusion rifles are the best weapons ever. Yeah, Like if they say fusion rifles are the best weapon ever, then yeah, that's their opinion. But I'm not gonna deny that. But I'm not gonna deny that people say fusion rifles might be the best weapon ever, because in my opinion, they're not. Fusion rifles are very inconsistent, and that's the reason why I just don't use them. That's why I love using shotguns, because when you're at close range, you're basically always guaranteed to do a lot of damage. Anyway, let's get back onto the video. So the Merciless is basically just your average fusion rifle, really. It can hold a lot of ammo, and well, yeah, it holds a lot of ammo. What else can I say? Oh god. Conserve momentum, basically just non-lethal hits, less than charge time, which basically means if... Oh god, I need to take a breather, like, once every time in a while. Anyway, basically, if you don't really hit headshots, it lessens the charge time. And this trade perk is literally reloading, like, after a kill, gives you, like, increases the weapon's damage, which is definitely not a bad thing, but, like... I don't really see that much in game, because, well, you don't always have special ammo. And plus, once you get special ammo, you're usually gonna reload so you actually have some ammo to use the weapon. Like, that's the thing, like, special ammo in the Crucible is, like, well, stupid, because, like, you start off with, like, 2 shots, well, it matters what weapon you're using. In this case, where I'm using a fusion rifle, so you start off with 2 shots, and yeah, I mean, people with special weapons, like weapons that use special ammo, if they die, they drop special ammo. That's how it works, and that's the fact is, like, if you spawn and get a kill with Merciless, you don't have any ammo, like, or they don't drop any ammo, this perk is pretty much useless. Like, this perk can be really good in PvE, because you're always fighting and the enemies drop ammo and stuff. And plus, you'll always have lots of ammo on you, so yeah. And let me have a breather, since I'm talking way too much. There you go. Non-lethal hits, less than charge time for the intrinsic perk. I didn't really see this much in game. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't actually see this in game. Like, these 2 perks, I just almost didn't see them. Like, in the trait perk, I did see sometimes, and the intrinsic perk, I didn't really see much at all. Like, I don't really like the, well, compared to the Telesto, the Merciless's charge time, I don't like. Like, I don't like the charge time of this weapon. 900, it's pretty slow. Like, I mean, when you compare it to the Telesto, which has 780, which is... Well, you can even notice that it has a lesser charge time. Like, I do like how it does, like, have a lesser spread between all 3 shots. Like... Okay. Need another breather. Anyway. Okay, the range is basically determined by how, like, big of a spread it has. And the Merciless does have a lesser spread than the Telesto. However, when I actually talk about the Telesto, it doesn't really matter, since I'm gonna actually have to talk about the Telesto as we all know. The Merciless is basically worse at every other snap, like, than the Telesto. Like, it has worse damage, worse stability, worse handling, worse reload speed. The only thing it has better is range, but the fact is, like, it's not really true, since Telesto has, like, a perk which makes the range, like, really, really good. So yeah, I guess I should just start talking about the Telesto now. And I need another breather. So I really like the Telesto. I just want to say that the Merciless, before I actually start talking about Telesto, the Merciless was very inconsistent. Sometimes I just, like, destroy enemies, and just other times I don't do anything. Anyway, let's get back onto Telesto. So Telesto, I absolutely love the charge up time. The charge up time is 780, which is compared to the Merciless, is fast. It is fast. Like, the spread of the weapon is more. However, its perks, like, unplanted with Deprive, I'm pretty sure I'm planning to reprieve is the intrinsic perk, and basically what it shoots like void orbs that attach to surfaces and like detonate when people walk over them. And that is so like, so that gives like the weapon like more like a better playstyle, since you don't really have to like use it against people. You can just like shoot it at like doorways and stuff, and you can just guard like a doorway, and when people walk through they'll just die. And that's what I mean by like this thing doesn't really have less range. And then they love a breather. That's what I mean by like how this weapon doesn't really like, the range is a bit like unclear, sensing the void orbs it shoots, because they do use like explosion damage. However, as explosion damage isn't really affected by like damage drop off, so yeah, when you shoot the orbs like really far away, like they'll just do the exact same amount of damage. And of course, like the spread of the weapon, like you can't shoot it too far, because like if you shoot it too far, the orbs will just be spread out and it won't do much. But yeah, it does have, and because of the explosions the void orbs do, it does do more damage at long range. I mean, not close range. Like it does do more damage at long range, and yeah, the magazine size, even though it's less than the Merciless, is still well pretty good, since you're not always gonna have like special ammo on you, so that's why I use spare rations sometimes, since I don't always have special ammo. The reload speed, like basically every other stat besides like range is better, so yeah. So the fact is, when talking about these weapons, the range is not really like described by like damage drop off. It's more about the spread. Like a fusion rifle, like it'll probably like it can do damage at long range, yeah, but it's just the fact that because of the spread of the projectiles, like they spread out, that it's like ridiculously hard to hit things at long range with doing, especially with ordinary fusion rifles. Like Telesto is kind of the exception, since well, because of the void orbs, and they just do like a set amount of damage. It can do damage at long range, like good damage, but ordinary fusion rifles is hard because of the spread, like, and they don't like attach void orbs like onto surfaces. It just doesn't do like it's just really hard to hit things. Well, it's hard to hit people at long range and to do the amount of damage to like even do like a remotely half their health or even a quarter. Also, when I was talking about the Telesto playstyle, like with the Telesto you can, as I said, like you don't actually have to use it like you don't have to shoot at people. You can just shoot at like walls and just guard a safe area. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about another thing I don't really like about fusion rifles, and that's that you have to be very defensive with them. Like, I absolutely love shotguns and snipers. Like, whenever I use special weapons, those are usually the two weapons I'll use: shotguns and snipers. What I love about shotguns is that the fact is they just do so much amount of damage. Like, and you don't even need like a charge up time. Like, that's the main problem about fusion rifles, in my opinion. It's just the charge up time. Like, you have to be at like a closer range to even do damage, and it's really bad when it gives them a charge up time. Like in the video, if you actually watch, like it was pretty annoying with just seeing like people just with shotguns just come up to me. I was like busy charging up my weapon and they just shoot once and I'm dead. Like, they'll always be able to kill me faster than I'm able to kill them with, well, the fusion rifle. If I shoot them with like they'll always be able to kill me faster. Even if the first shot doesn't kill me, they can just instantly just melee after, and that's it. Now, this is basically just gonna be my final opinion, since well, I think I've talked about everything else about these weapons. So, in my opinion, I do prefer the Telesto, since it has a shorter charge up time, and it can be used at longer ranges. It doesn't mean like, and plus it's more consistent. Like, fusion rifles are so inconsistent. That's why I don't use them. The Merciless is just basically an ordinary fusion rifle. in my eyes, since seeing, well, I didn't even see most, like, the perks. I barely saw them, like, work. Like, compared to the Telesto, the perks are always working. Like, I didn't really even talk about the trait perks, and think that one isn't really, well, that one's not as, like, important as the intrinsic perk. Intrinsic perk basically just means that it shoots, like, void orbs that explode and attach to the surfaces. That always happens. Like, that will always happen. So you always have that, like, longer range, like, firing. You can always fire at longer ranges. Compared to the Merciless, which is, well, I didn't see it work much, since I wasn't really. I was, like, you could make the perks work if you were paying attention to it, but if you pay attention to the perks, it just, like, well, you just, like, not doing your best, basically. Anyway, that's been my final opinion, and yeah, okay, I'm very out of breath. In my opinion, I do think the Telesto is better, so if you want to know which one you want to probably use the Telesto. Very out of breath. Anyway, that's been... Anyway, if you guys want to, like, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to, well, if you want to see, like, any weapons, like, in a comparison. Like, if you want to see, like, let's say, like, you want to see, like, Fawn versus, like, Ace of Spades or something. Comment down below if you want to see something like that. Anyway, make sure to subscribe, as I already said, if you like this content. Anyway, this is Alex HG signing off.